Okay, so hello.
Hi.
We are just concluded our day one of Youth Plus event, and we're here to share with you what each of us learned because we were attending different classes in different villages because they were happening at a go at the same time. So we decided to divide ourselves to three different classes so we can learn differently, so we can share with each other, take important points and notes so we can share. So we want to share them aloud so you can also learn from what we shared. So my first class was content creation.
Yeah, my first class was centronomy.
Take the mic when you talk.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, so my first class was actually centronomy,
it's autonomy.
and it was so much amazing.
Perfect.
Yes.
So my first class was content creation.
Oh, we were together with you in the same
Yeah, yeah.
class. Perfect. So what I learned about content creation, actually she was an amazing speaker. Alikuwa anasema kwanza ile point alimake vizuri ni do not overthink. Ukioverthink content hauwezi create. Like anytime you think about an idea, the only thing you need to do is pick up your phone and record. Alafu wewe utaedit alafu upost. Like usifikirie ati lazima ukuwe umevaa suti ama sijui kumekaa design fulani. People want to connect with vulnerable content, like ile content really. Unaget? Then kuna kitu kingine alisema, nilikuwa naongelea about inspirational, aspirational na relatable content. Na ile content yenye engaging sana alisema ni relatable.
Yeah, kenye mimi nililearn sana hapo. Kenye nililearn sana ni hiyo ya don't overthink. Unapata then ukirecord video, usiache kae sana kwa simu because you're not going to post it. So come record, edit and then you can be able to post it. Yeah.
That's good. Kuna kitu alikuwa anasema, kuna kitu alisema kuhusu algorithm. Nakumbuka? Alisema algorithm huwa ina push ile content yenye alisema huwa ina push ile content yenye ni number one trending. Kama Instagram wameintroduce a new feature, unafaa uende explore, uitumie that new feature. That is the only way hiyo content yako itakuwa push. Then they don't care about comments na sijui mtu ni hiyo rewatch. Unaona mtu akiwatch sana. Mtu kama ile video yenyewe unarudianga sana kuwatch inapelekanga kwa for you page. So unafaa create content yenye iko na hook. So mtu alisema concentration span ya binadamu ni 8 seconds. So the first 8 seconds kama uwezi hook mtu hawezi like hataendelea kuwatch video yako, like kwa nini aendelee kukaa hapo, kwa nini awatch hiyo content yako. Then kama sema unafanya content ya makeup as an example kwa sababu she was a lady, alisema anza content yako ukionyesha the end result, alafu sasa urudi from back uonyesha hivi ndio naanza. So mtu akuje kwa hiyo content na hiyo content akijua hii ndio kitu mtapata at the end, tajua venye huyu dem ametoka hivi akakuwa hivi, venye amejieka, venye nywele yake imekuwa hivi, venye eyebrows zake zinakaa hivi. Yeah.
The past and the present and the future. You
So,
display them.
Lakini sasa the first 8 seconds display hiyo kitu yenye ita happen.
Or the future.
Hiyo kitu yenye the first 8 seconds kama unaweka makeup, eka ka video uko ready kwa mpaka makeup. Hiyo ndio ianze. Ni mtu useme kitu kama how do I make my eyebrows? So mtu anaona already eyebrows iko made. So ako pale kuona kutokaje from hivi ukakuwa vile vingine.
Ulianzaje? Yeah. Another thing and then you learn, identify the type of content that you want to create before you start. Now this is like alikuwa anaongelea how to start. So first of all, the first thing you need to identify what kind of content do you want to create. Hiyo ndio kitu alitufunza. So another thing alituambia, start strong. I think ndio kitu tulikuwa nasema in the first 5 seconds of your content. By asking a question, teasing a finishing result, creating a formal with a catchy hook, and nilikuwa nasema sasa. Like I'm going to hold your hand as I say this, like something like a formal. Unanipata? Because alisambia if you start something with a teasing, inaweza kuwa ni video very long but utajipata umewatch, lakini because ilikuwa the first few seconds ilikuwa very interesting, utapata umewatch as ni kama uko na hiyo mtu au ni audience they are listening to, ni kama wako na wewe hapo.
kama kuna kitu important alishare ni storytelling. Alishare mtu akishare story,
Yeah.
si kitu fancy, like onesha watu, wacha wakuwe na wewe into the journey.
Yeah.
Like hiyo storytelling ya alionyesha ile video ya mtu huyo jamaa alikuwa anaelezea venye alitoka Kenya akienda
Amsterdam.
Copenhagen. Ni Copenhagen.
Ilikuwa Amsterdam, Netherlands.
Iko huko. Venye alikuwa sio anaenda kummeet wife yake or anything. Like anaku engage, anatuambia tulitoka hapa, tukaenda hapa, tukaenda hapa, tukaenda hapa, tukaenda hapa. Na hakuna kitu fancy about hiyo nini, ako tu engaging. And I think that's how it is. Yeah.
Wow.
So alisema wewe ulikuwa kwa income, ulikuwa kwa centonomy.
Yeah, mimi nilikuwa kwa centonomy. Yeah, centonomy, first of all, cent, the word cent comes from money, you know, and also autonomy inamaanisha like you are independent, you are ready to be independent of yourself, you are not ready to depend on anyone. So that is like what the word centonomy means. So there is that autonomy word that means that you are supposed to be independent. So they were trying to explain how the problems that people are facing today in the world, like in the world of maybe income, watu venye wanajaribu ku get to the next level of maybe becoming wealthy. So one of the problems, or two major problems actually people face today, number one is income problem, that is actually spending problem, and the other one is actually not making enough, or probably not having what you're required to have, you know. So na ilikuwa inasemekana maybe you cannot just have both. Huwezi kuwa uko na shida, maybe hautengenezi ile pesa unataka kutengeneza, na hauwezi kuwa pia na spending problem. So there is one of them that you are facing. Kuna tu shida moja, huwezi kuwa una face zote mbili. You cannot be having an income yenye umetosheka nayo, so you don't know how to move to the next level. And you cannot be having also a problem. You can either be having a problem, on that, of spending. Either ile pesa kidogo unatengeneza, you are literally like spending it a lot. Or either the income you are making, you want it to move higher. So you can either be having a problem on either of those. So they were trying to explain. So unafaa identify shida yako ni gani, like which is the problem that wewe mwenyewe una face. So na hapo kwa income problem, probably maybe you can try and check on yourself, because for you maybe to increase income yako, you first of all need to become, because most of the people work on their job more than they work on themselves. You get it? So they were trying to explain, you know, how you can literally work on yourself first. So invest most of your time on yourself so that the income can go higher. So when it also comes to spending, you need to learn some ways on how maybe you can control your spending habits. And one of the spending habits yenye watu wanafacigi ni mtu anasema juu hii pesa nimewakia sana, wacha nijispoil, wacha nijitreat. So that is the spending problem people have. You know, unatembea pale kwa jam, unapata mtu anauza njugu, unasema acha ninunue, unapata leo ni weekend. Maybe you just want to spend because unasema I worked for it. So the first thing you should always do, because that is the number one problem people are facing, maybe if you're making 30,000, 40,000, the first thing you should do to cope up with spending, you know, you are extravagant, unafaa first of all, you should save, you know, and then the remaining amount of money, you can literally use it on bills. So they were talking about the 50-30-20 rule, you know, how you should sort out what amount are you supposed to save, what amount are you supposed to spend, what amount is supposed to go on your bills.
This 50, 20, 30 ni percentage.
Yeah, they go in percentages.
So 50 ni nini, 20 na 30 ni nini?
Okay, so when it comes to the 50-20-30 rule, so the 50 are the needs. What are the needs that you have? Probably let's calculate in a month, because that's how we can literally understand. So we have the needs, the things that you must have. Let me say the basic needs, like food, you cannot evade rent, you cannot clothing, you know.
Water,
so you need
bills,
to
electricity.
identify what are those things. So there are these things which are now the wants. Probably you might do without them, but they are still necessary. You know, you
Not
still
far
need them.
from needing.
Not far
You
from
can
needing.
survive without them, but they're not. You can survive without them, but you need them.
Yeah, like let me say something like traveling.
Yeah.
You know, you want to travel to a certain place where is like you want to satisfy yourself.
Yeah.
You want to maybe go dining with someone on a
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally a want.
Yeah.
It's a want that you want to achieve. You know, and there are the others. The 20% now is the saving. You know, and the other thing that maybe is in caution is don't borrow money that you want to spend and you don't know how you'll make it.
So do not spend money that is not in your pocket.
Yes. Don't borrow a loan, spend money, and you don't have a plan of how you can get that money. So that is a loan
And I think
created.
that's a very big problem, and it is very relatable in our business.
Sure.
Unapata jamaa ametumiwa pesa ya code inaingia hivi, kijana anaenda anashona suti ama ashapangia pesa na ana code,
ashatumia pesa nyajana
na ana code set, kijana ako na code hana code, jamaa anachukua do anaenda vacation,
Na hajui venye atatoa hiyo
hajui. Unajua kama mtu anachukua anaitumia akijua iko kwa DTC ni kwa cash at cash, hiyo hana shida. I think that is majorly, hiyo ndio point napata, hiyo ndio kitu na relate na hiyo message yako.
So it means
So uko na 2 minutes ndio twende next.
Yeah, so it means like that's another very important rule someone would probably check on. And the other thing is maybe you can have a small note, you know, somewhere you are writing all the things that you do, all the expenses that you incur. Probably if you find somewhere you can note.
Yeah,
Unaweza andika.
that's one of the things yenye nilisaidia mimi niweze kumanage pesa. I bought a book, and this book I write it every evening. Na ninatoka kwa M-Pesa. Nasema leo nilitumia pesa wapi. So by the end of the month naweza make kama a small analysis. Fuel niliweka hii siku, nini niliweka hii siku, sijui nilinunua kitabu hii siku, nililipa hii kitu hii siku, nilipa rent hii siku. So itanisaidia nijue hii ilikuwa, this was a want, so hii next time sitahitaji, so mpaka na cut down in 3 or 4 months. Utaweza ku cut down pesa mpaka unapata una spend the least na unaweza ku save more.
Sure. Yeah, actually I have a small book. Si lazima ikuwe kitabu kubwa, inaweza kuwa kama haka ka kitabu tu kadogo
Kenye hata kama ni ka pocket.
Because is like it said unatuma tuseme kitu kama 3k unakuja kupiga mahesabu, my income is 100. Where did I send this 3,000? It's a cost you incurred, but you don't know how you incurred the cost. So ukienda kucalculate the income you made and what you can save, probably what you can put in the wants, in the needs, you're already confused.
Unaandikanga pesa transaction fee.
The transaction cost? No, I don't do that.
So that is a spending na uandikaji.
I don't write
Hebu
that.
siku moja anza kuandika transaction yako
including airtime yenye naona airtime siandiki.
Hiyo umetumia mtu 7 bob imechajiwa. Tuwe mtu 27 imetolewa. Hebu andika, utaona ina month unaweza kuwa una spend 3,000.
Transaction cost.
Imeenda tu kwa transaction. Bank umetoa pesa kwa bank. 57 imeenda, 80 imeenda, umeenda kwa ATM, 40 imeenda.
That is expense in card.
Hiyo ni do yako inaenda. So unaweza enda mpaka ucut hiyo transaction upate. Sasa wewe una deal maybe in cash or ukitoa pesa ni mara moja. Mtu akitaka unamuita unampea kama ni possible. Si lazima hiyo transaction cost na kulanga watu do mob sana. Sure. So acha tu focus on huyu jamaa.
So pia mimi nilienda class ya financial wellness.
Ule second class. Our second class sisi ilikuwa
Storytelling, which was an amazing class.
Acha tufike hapo. Tuambie financial class ulisoma nini?
Okay, mimi kwa financial class I think mungepeana kwanza hiyo ya storytelling because yangu na huyu jamaa ziko close to the same, but basically kenye tuliongelelea is about budgeting. Unajua wasenga ukisikia budgeting ni kama inakulimit kuwa na maisha mazuri. Niko nikwambia budget pesa yako, utasikia nikwambia budget pesa yako na feel kama nakukazia.
Na ni limit.
But budgeting is
Sasa kile jasho yangu.
budgeting ni kama unataka ujue useme pesa yako police inafaa kwenda, si pesa yako iende. Umeipata hivi umetumia pesa lakini ujue venye pesa ilienda. But ukibudget unajua pesa yangu inafaa kwenda hivi na hivi na hivi. So alitupatia comprehensive budget should entail like mandatory bills and expense, entertainment, umenipata? And then savings like emergency fund, debt repayment, investment, a short term, mid term and long term project, insurance expense. Hizo ndio tulisoma. So pia alitufunza the 50 30 20 budgeting rule.
Kama ya huyu.
Zangu tofauti na huyu, mine is 50% needs, 30% should be saving, investment and debt payment, 20 should go to your wants.
The same.
I think it is different.
It is a bit different.
The 30
in the same context.
Yako that ilikuwa
wants.
Yeah, that you want. 20 savings.
Yeah, I think
What do you think?
it's
Okay,
supposed
for
to
me,
be
I would say you first of all you need to save first before you do anything
30%
else.
or
So it is
20%.
Okay, they have the same context, only that they have
Naona
interchanged.
wewe kulingana na wewe usiwe na mbio wako ukienda kwa kusomea kitabu inasema if you do this you will become sick, na inasema if you do this you will become healthy. You read both books and you make your own conclusion.
So what is my thinking?
Yes.
That's it.
What's your conclusion?
So for me, I will say because wants are things that if you do them, if you do them or not do them, you still remain the same. So probably if on that particular month there is a certain goal you want to achieve,
iPhone.
you want to iPhone is a
Upgrade.
want.
Yeah.
Probably it's in your goal.
Yeah.
You know, you can definitely decide I'm going to interchange, because this is probably people sat down and saw, you know, this person who came up with the 50-30 rule and someone else interchanged, because under the ones there is traveling, there is dining, so you'll decide on that particular month.
So wewe tunauliza wewe 20, 30 na 50. 50 tunajua already tenda kwa needs. Wewe 30 itakuwa wants ama itakuwa savings, na 20 itakuwa wants ama itakuwa savings.
I'll say like 30 will go to my wants.
Alafu 20 iende kwa savings.
Yes.
Na wewe?
Mimi first of all hiyo ni nini? Hii kitu unaweza shift kulingana na
Jibu swali.
mwezi. Haya,
Jibu
30
swali.
30 naenda kwa savings venye tu nimewaambia.
30 kwa
20
savings.
kwa wants.
20 kwa wants. Also these things are the same. Sasa wewe unataka ku save 20. Nyumba yako ni kupenda raha.
Lakini
Well,
sikia,
because of
kwa
like-
wants there is
Unaona
there is-
savings, unaona 30%, savings unapoanza na 30%. Na yende ikiongezeka. Hata inaweza enda savings zako zikue 90%, 90%.
Okay, it
So
also
kitu ingine
depends
pia-
the income
Sikiza.
and what
sasa
you want to
nimesema,
achieve.
Sasa ametuambia unaweza pata kuna sometimes the 50 inaweza enda 60 70 depending on how your life it is. Hivyo ndio
Wewe unaona
amesema.
inafaa iende
Because amesema for example, let's say for example like
50
this
ni
month.
needs.
Amesema like
Hebu
this
nijibu.
month. Let's say for example.
Nijibu.
Sikiza.
Unaona inafaa iende.
Sasa usikize nikuelezea vile tumeeleza. Ameeleza kwa perspective ya mtu mwenye akona familia. So usikize nikueleze. Unataka kujua Kenya ni
Wewe
land.
nataka ujibu swali ndio ueleze.
If I
Ujibu swali.
If I- yeah.
Exactly. Sasa endelea.
Sawa. So another thing yenye nililearn is that you know the idea of budgeting is to give every cent a purpose. Unanipata? Like for example, let's say like alitupatia example fulani hapo. Kuna day maybe ana work from point A to point B. Anatembea. So kuna place anatembea maybe kutoka Parklands hadi town kwa stage. Unajua unaweza tembea kwa hiyo distance.
Yeah.
Let's say anabuy kuna ile chocolate. Maybe anabaigi 140 akienda, 140 akirudi. So hiyo ni 280. 280 is a very small amount of money for you.
Sure.
Si ni kweli? You will feel it is very small.
Yeah.
But at the end of the year ukicalculate amekula chocolate za 80k.
Akiangalia.
For example tu venye umeambia tu huyu, let's say for example in a month,
Transaction.
in a day maybe umetumia transaction ya 140. Si ni kweli? So in a year lesson ndipo umetumia transaction ya 100,000 Kenyan shillings. So tukana 100,000 Kenyan shillings do to you something important.
Probably I can even buy a land where
Yeah.
I come from.
Yes. Where do you come from?
I come from the plains of Kenya.
Yeah. So another thing is about the envelope budgeting. Ndio kuna zile pesa unapeaga wazazi. Umenipata? So akatuambia for example, maybe unaweza kuweka kwa mshwari. So kwa mshwari maybe kuna mtu atakupigia simu sijui ako na shida fulani, sijui eti niko na fare, sijui sina kama downlines for example. Ama mama yako amekupigia kuna hii shida fulani, sister yako nini. Na kwa niseme tu ni kama black tax hivi. So amesema unachukua pesa fulani unaziweka kwa hiyo envelope. maybe envelope ni kama umechukua kwa mshwari, ni kama unaweza tumia physical envelope ama unaweza tumia hizi za kusave kama unaweza kwa mshwari
Digital envelope.
yeah. So meka hapo hiyo pesa ikiisha, hata mtu akikupigia simu hauna pesa because unafaa uende kutoa hiyo pesa wapi? Ni envelope uko nayo, so ndio unatoa hapo, so ikiisha hauna,
Hadi wale
you wait for the next
wale
month.
watoto watao
Yeah.
auntie uncle nisaidie.
Hauna, so hiyo unangojea hadi next month, so unaweza tumia the envelope nini.
Pastor Nganga akikwambia mkuu ukija kanisa kila mtu na dhao kwa mkono. Ikiisha huwezi enda nayo.
And let's say for example maybe there's something that's happened, maybe for example in your business or in your job, mpoteza kazi yako, life is not easy. You can have what called the bare bones budgeting strategy. A bare bone budget entertains paying only what you need to survive. Kenye unahitaji tu ndio survive ndio unafanya.
And I think most people should maintain that kind of lifestyle for more than 5 years.
Yeah.
Ukianza kuhustle, only pay what you need to survive.
Alituambia
Itakataka ingine achana.
Alituambia yote, mtu akikwambia twende place fulani na wewe mwambie siwezi, is show how mature you are.
Saying no.
Saying
You
no.
don't try to fit in.
Yeah, because umetuambia yes utaenda, then ukuje, lese tumeenda. Kama sikuwa na hiyo pesa kuja kwa event leo, naambia mimi sina hiyo 5k. It's not that I'm stupid. I'm just being mature. Najua I cannot afford it.
Kipchoge anaitanga the vitamin N.
Yeah.
Saying no.
Kwa sababu si nimekuja nikitoka hapa maybe ndio niko kwa date. Mimi ndio nimeacha kwa date niko peke yangu.
Hiyo pia, by hiyo pia usumbua watu sana.
Yeah, aliongelelea pia hiyo.
Nimenunua chai pia nimezoea chai. Na huko umepanga kununua chai.
So it affects your savings.
Mimi nikinao kwa meza. Tuitishe chai, uitishe kuku, mwingine aitishe nini, alafu mtu mwingine aseme mimi nilete maji. Wewe urespectiwe jamaa kushinda hizo ng'ombe zingine.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu huyu jamaa
pia kuna yule mwenye chai alikuwa amebudgetia pia atanunua chai.
Hiyo ako sawa.
Sasa huwezi fikiria kile mtu mwenye alikuwa.
Lakini
ama alikuwa ready to kula, alikuwa ready to kuspend.
Lakini kuna mwingine
hakuwa
ready. Anakuja tu
because venye like huyu ameitisha niletee
ama ndio hata unamuona akienda kwa M-Pesa yake kuangalia balance.
Meaning hakuwa
anajaribu kumtafuta. Hata anaenda anaangalia balance yake ya Fuliza. I think that is good from you. There is a lot of things bado sijaambia. Kuna nyingine ningependa kuambia kidogo. Sikiza. Kuna kitu nyinyi wawili mlisema which was different, which was contrary. Wewe ulifunzwa Saitabau na wewe ukafunzwa.
Hapo sasa ndo nilikuwa nakuja.
Wewe ulisema
cha tusikie yake. Let him speak.
Like tuliambiwa about emergency fund.
Emergency fund. Uliambiwa uweke emergency fund ya nini?
Emergency fund ni kama let's say for example for the bad weather.
For the rainy days.
For the rainy days.
So say maybe ugonjeke ama upate accident, si ndio?
Kenye nilielewa kwake is for flexibility. Basically when alikuwa touch ni kama let's for example for a woman. Umenipata? Ameenda maybe akona kazi yenye yeye ndio inamtegemea. Let's say like a therapist who is a woman. So unajua akienda maternity leave ile kazi yake haezi atiachia mtu mwingine atakwenda radi, yeye ndiye anamtegemea. Unanipata? Is the main person there. So mtu kama huyo anafaa akue na ile flexibility ya kwamba anaweza enda hata 4 months bila kuworry.
Umenipata? Kwa pesa yenyewe anaweza survive hata kama hana income.
Hata kama hana income.
Yeah. Is that what is called emergency fund?
Hivyo ndio alituelezea on our end.
So aliwaambia you put that is hiyo when umeiweka sahihi inaeleweka. Like it makes sense.
Unajua hapo kwa emergency funds alielezea different scenarios. Venye tu kienda kwa class venye tu umesema there's a scenario you will take the scenario that I will take.
Watamko class the same.
Anasema nimewapatia kama tuko class sisi wote.
Okay.
Okay, for me I had this and from the understanding I also have is whatever happens in your life is definitely contributed to most of the imaginations that you had previously, probably maybe in the few days or even time that you were in ama ulikuwa una income. So the emergency fund, kiamua tunaweka emergency fund, it means there is something bad probably you are thinking it will happen. So the reason you are putting that emergency fund is you are attracting. It's like you are telling the universe, I want problems.
The thoughts.
The thought. So your thought is telling you something bad is going to happen. Kindly start saving for emergency fund. So you should not like, in as much as you are putting it as an emergency fund, you can decide and identify it as a idea opportunity. Put it in that way. Idea opportunity. Probably be like, there's an opportunity that might come and I can pursue it. So I have to set up this money for that
So
opportunity.
if that opportunity shows up, I can grab it.
Yeah,
If
so
it needs some finance.
it should not be like an emergency fund for problems. It should be an emergency fund for more creation of income or additional, money to your pocket. So you should set up as an idea opportunity.
Good. The first time I heard that was when I was reading The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, T. Harv Eker, and it hit me like lightning. If you save for rainy days, you'll keep getting more of rainy days. But if you save for the good days, you'll keep getting the good days. So instead of you saving for ukigonjeka ama saving ukipata accident, save for vacation ikitokea
Deals.
So ile sasa idea nimepata kutoka kwa yako kwa kitu melan ni save for the deals. Mtu anauza kashamba mahali, mtu anataka kupeleka mtoto shule akang'ombe anataka kupeana,
ama unapata kuna mtu there are people who are having a problem. There are people who like I have this story. There's this guy who was setting up an apartment, and he set up this apartment with a bank, so
a loan ya bank.
So he now had to move out, alipata something to go to the US, so he had to leave everything, and it was a very very nice place, like place alikuwa na build. So he had actually to incur a very big, let me say, loss. He was giving it at a throwaway price. So it was something worth almost 300 million, and he was giving it out at almost 80 million,
which is an opportunity.
Yes, and per month it was like literally generating 250,000 plus. So it simply means if you had this money, you have been setting it up for emergency, it can help you cope up with an it gives you a chance to get an opportunity to get more money. So it is an emergency. So you got an idea. You got an idea opportunity from the emergency fund you are setting aside. You get it? So that is a very very nice story to help you understand that emergency fund. You are not just setting up some thousands. There are people who set up millions. Someone be like 1 million.
And you learn by setting up the
small.
The 100 balls.
You'll start by small.
That's how. Unajua mtu asipo learn from ile pesa kidogo ako nayo,
hata ile kubwa itakuwa ngumu.
Awezangi kitu watu hufanya income yao kiongezeka wanaongeza lifestyle yao.
Hiyo tumeambiwa mtu anasemaga eti I'll start saving when I make some good amount of money. Akatuliza, let's say today you make 1 million Kenyan shillings. Are you going to think about saving? Am I going to think about I'll buy a car? I'll buy a new phone?
Definitely gari.
Yeah.
As you were going to digital marketing, we attended online business with Bwana Meshack. Let me share what I learned, then you'll follow. Tuambie mambo ya digital marketing. What I liked about that class was the story of that person. Like this is her story. Yeye take some time from alipomaliza high school hakwenda university direct kwa sababu wazazi wake walikuwa nakusanya, so akatafuta intern, akakuwa intern na alikuwa intern wa Blogspot. So hiyo blogs, so literally hiyo blog ilikuwa watu 6 na ilikuwa inawalipia everything, so watu tu wanakodesha ad space. So hapo ndiye alianza kufall in love na online. So ikafika time sijui akaenda kusomea majuu, hiyo kurudi majuu na then sasa venye alirudi ndiye alianza kuwork na online space. So yeye hata akienda kuchagua course alichagua yenye iko specific ya iko na social media, like iko na online business. Unaget? And I think that was very powerful because most people after form 4 they do a mistake ya kwenda kuchagua tu takataka kwa sababu ameambiwa na mtu asome ama serikali imemwambia utaenda hii university usome. Anaenda anachukua help loan ama anaenda anaambia pressure wazazi wanauza mang'ombe, anaenda anasoma, alafu after amemaliza 4 years ama hata akiwa in the middle anaona hii shit si mimi siko nataka kufanya. ama anaanza kusema things like hii degree ni ya wazazi, ama anaanza kuchukua another degree kwa sababu sasa asha figure out ni nini. So mimi ile kitu nimechukua hapo ni from that part of the story ni kama hujui kitu unataka kufanya, hauko clear, take some 1 year 2 years, hakuna pressure. Most people wanamalizanga form 4 kiwa 18 19 years 6, hata wengine 17 na 16. Kuchukua 2-3 years kuja huku nje ku experience life, hakuna kitu itakuuma, ndio ujue. So venye alikaa yeye alikuwa chaguo hiyo. So hata akifanya, imagine biashara yake yenye imegrow to like a business that makes her more money, a big brand, ilianza kama project ya shule. So alikuwa anafanya biashara inamakiwa na lecturer, na hiyo biashara ndio ilikuwa full time job yake
Kama project.
na alianza kama project. Ulisikia hiyo part? Like alianza kama project. So akiandika report ya biashara yake. One thing that also inspired me is within the journey, anasema alilose biashara yake. Sijui Instagram yake ilikuwa na over 48,000 followers. Sijui ililogiwa in na akafanya some malicious things with the account, na I think Meta walitoa. So akaanza upya. So hapo alisema ndio kuavoid vitu kama hizo happen in future, your business needs to have a website. Kwa nini? Anasema a very powerful thing she said. A website is like a home, a real estate property. Social media page is like renting up space. You can lose it anytime. Mtu anaweza kuja kukwambia uhame.
Nataka kujenga.
Meta sasa
kujenga nyumba nyingine sasa.
So that's your Facebook account or Instagram account or TikTok account.
Inaenda leo. Ama venye site TikTok inataka kufungwa US, ifungwe na pengine main biashara yako ilikuwa pale TikTok. Lakini kama audience yako walikuwa wanajua jamaa tunaweza kupata kwa hiyo website, already wanakuja kwako kwa sababu wanajua ni hapa. Then another powerful thing pia alishare ni personal brand. It is important to put a face on your business. Like if you're selling products, physical products, like products consumable ama any service, let it have a face. Kwa sababu if your time personal brand yake ingekuwa connected na biashara yake, watu wangemuuliza hey, kwani kumeenda aje, umelose nini, awaambie this is our new page, ile ilifanywa hivi kafanyiwe, angeza kucommunicate nayo. Then alisema stories, powerful thing to engage with the audience. Alisema you can literally build a business with just stories, hata kama hauna kitu kwa your timeline. And I've seen people with literally hawana, lakini ukiangalia insights zao wako na 4 million visitors, 2 million visitors per 30 days, wako na like millions of visitors. So I think her class was really powerful, na speakers wote kwa event yote kama umeobserve wameinsist on AI. Kila mtu akikuja AI, kila mtu akikuja AI.
Okay, before maybe tumalizie hapo kwa online. She also said if maybe you are that person mwenye ana post on Instagram, normalize to humanize your brand. Like let me say you are on social media you are feeding people with your content, or you are feeding people with what you do. So probably you can post the daily things you do. So interact. Probably you woke up in the morning, you went to the gym, you took a cup of coffee. If maybe, let me say, whatever you are selling is, let me say, you are selling, let me say, braces. You can literally show bracelets. People that you are putting on what you are selling. Or something or anything else that you are, maybe the content what it involves, what you are sharing. So it can just come in between.
Hapo alikuwa anasema watu wapendi kuuziwa direct. Like unaona kama page yako ni tu products.
Official sponsored.
Nini sponsored, nini watu wataki. Watu wanataka mahali
una interact.
Wanataka kujua umefanya nini, after hapo utafanya nini. Like kai umeumia, ulifanya nini ulipoumia?
Kabla hapo indipotee. Sell without being selling.
Sell without being selling.
Wow. That's amazing. Yes. And also in online, she was trying also to explain on these people. Probably maybe wewe utaki uonekane. You don't want to be seen. You don't want your face to be seen. You don't want to show out who you are. You can literally feed people with the content that you want them to hear or to listen to or to know. Probably you are not that person who doesn't want people to see what you do probably at your place, So if you are that person who's a gardener, you can just be filming your hands alone and the activities you are doing, and still people will love what you do. And before maybe you get into that, you'll always have millions of people who are like you. You know, there are people outside there who are exactly like you and they like what you like and they want to live the life you want to live. So just be authentic enough. Do what you want. Do exactly what you feel you want to do. Because there are people who will love your content the way it is. So if you're like that person who will just post with a coffee, you know, with some quotes and words, but make sure you show up every day. That was something that she quoted in capital letters. Show up every single day.
And just share whatever you're comfortable with people knowing.
Yeah.
Si lazima utuonesha watoto wako ni nani. Si kama uko comfortable na hiyo, kama uko alipeana example ya nani chef wa Islando. Huyu jamaa ataonesha nangi sura yake, but we know about his brand. Like people engage with his brand. Digital marketing, we want to hear from you.
Now. So pale kwa
alone, so
I was alone.
You are alone. We need to hear from you.
It was not much.
I need to learn.
It was not much. One thing that I learned about, first of all, talked about legacy. You know, legacy, alituambia, basically legacy does not mean eti ukikufa the legacy yako ndiye iko. You can still be living and still you have that legacy of yours.
Wow.
Benipata? Like
learning.
many people, they think that the legacy is nikikufa ndo watakuwa wananifikiria.
Utakumbuka being remembered.
Watakuwa wanakumbuka. But there's a legacy that you can be thinking when you're still living. Benipata? Like you helping a person nini, kuna vitu utafanya living a legacy. Also in pale kwa digital pia you can leave your legacy pale kwa internet. So he told us, if the internet does not forget, why don't you make it count? The internet does not forget.
Yeah.
Why don't you make it then count?
That's very powerful. Do you think so?
I think so.
Kama Jim Rohn.
The internet never forgets.
Yeah. Then make it count.
Yeah.
So by that you can actually be able to leave a legacy. Like I think Jim Rohn said today mwana, but because of hizo mavile hata huko unamjua. So another thing that I learned about AI. Many people like if recently kama just umeona mimi kila kitu nafanya siku hizi ni AI. Umenipata? Na hapo nikuja niko nakatwambia there is no need of you wasting a lot of time na ungekuwa unafanya vitu zingine za maana. Umenipata? AI inakupatia kila kitu. Ametupatia several apps zinakusaidia kufanya everything. There's an app ametupatia inaweza kusaidia hata kutengeneza. Like let's say for example today I want to start selling the products that I have. Inaenda nipatia venye how strategies on how I can do marketing. An app that is called Gamma. Inakupatia kila kitu.
Gamma.
Yeah. If I want to create a website, I can go to Gamma inipatia kila kitu venye nafaa ku create your website, everything.
Yeah.
Na mwandika topo tu Kenya nafanya. Unipata? Yeah. I'm a coach of this and this and this. You can actually app yenye nakupatia content calendar. AI. So ukitambia don't free na kuna zingine ziko free, kuna zingine you just pay some like Gamma is only 2000 I think
Per month.
Ama
lifetime.
I think it's per month. Umenipata? And the things that unaweza pata hapo they're very because hadi nakutengenezea hadi training like a PDF. Unaona zile ulikuwa unaga PowerPoint slides very beautiful. Na mtu anaweza kuja anasikiza anasema wow, this guy is very smart. That guy is not smart. Ametumia tu AI. So everything place inaelekea saa hizi you should have everything. Akatuambia like for example like kuna wengine website dependent on answer the public. Let's say for example I want to sell something. I go to answer the public, inanipatia venye competitors wangu ama inanipatia watu venye wana search vitu. Like you can search right now maybe shoes near me. Unapata sasa unachukua hiyo content ndio unakuja kutumia ku create content yako. Sasa hizi ku create content is very easy. Like before. So what you need to teach yourself, you need to familiarize yourself with all the DeepSeek, ChatGPT. Ametuambia usi waste time mingi. Because we have a lot of apps zenye alitupatia pia ametufunza hiyo like many people don't be too silly. Unapata watu wapendi mtu mwenye kazi yake ni kuuza like wenye tu nimewaambia sell without being selling.
Then on that nini you remember she said on the part of don't sell be selling like people want to kwenye point imepotea like
people want to be like other people. Want to do how other people are doing.
People will give back to you when you give them. Like for example, alipana example ya aliweka free event ya watu tu wakuje, hawaongei anything about the products, hawaongei anything about products zake kwa sababu yako into beauty, ako into cosmetic, aongee mambo ya cosmetic, aongee mambo ya skincare, anaongea into hebu tuongee wetu ambie unafanya nini hivyo. The next day people showed up in her shop to buy because wali feel huyu mtu ametupea. So pia sisi it's a human nature. Sasa hii nikisaidi kikupatia gift tutaanza kufikiria nini? On your birthday nikupatie nikununulie gari.
Sasa mimi nitakuwa nafikiria yako.
Utaanza kufikiria
birthday yako ni lini nikununulia.
So if you give people more content, more value, watataka pia wakuja kupatia value, and most times if you're in a business they give value in terms of money.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the last session. Just Ivy, Africa.
Wow.
An amazing speaker.
Amazing.
Mimi kuna vitu nimenote, and she was talking about asking questions. Let me tell you, the first thing she said, if you don't ask, the answer will always be no.
Yeah.
Until you ask, the answer is no. And people lose opportunities because they don't ask. Ametuonesha how you can really ask. And asking is simply the door to unlocking the obvious. Akapiana example ya mlango. If mlango haina handle, what you do is knock. Si ni kweli? So it is you unlocking the asking is simply unlocking the obvious which is no. And there's some nuggets amekuwa kidrow, so I'm going to draw them yenye tu alikuwa anasema. She said that do not take either ni kali. Hii ni kali. Do not take constructive criticism from people who have constructed nothing.
Nilipata.
Like unaga wase ukuja wanaanza kupatia opinions at these take the constructive criticism well, take feedback, no problem, but not take constructive criticism from people who have totally built nothing.
Yeah.
Kama mtu hakuna kitu amebuild asikupatie advice ya kubuild.
They know nothing about building.
Let them not give you. Then akatuambia
before that he gave an example. She gave an example with the gym guy.
Yeah.
You telling me to move to the gym, but I want to see you are a gym instructor. I want to see your body being masculine.
I want to see the transformation of your clients.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your students, how are they doing?
Always take an advice. Know who to ask the questions. Not everybody you're asking questions.
Wow.
Like for example, you can ask questions mentors, experts, peers, and he said peers is a very good group to ask questions with.
But it depends.
Also yes, peers depend. Na nilikuwa nasema like if you have hapa ndio peers. If you let's say unasema you're bad at doing something but you want to practice the opposite. Let's say you're an introvert but you know you need to start talking, so you want to practice talking. You need to practice it in safe spaces. And I can define a safe space as people who have your interest to succeed and they have an influence over that change. They have an interest to succeed na wanataka ku-influence to be part of that change. Those are called your peers. That is the safe space. People who like wanataka ku-succeed wanajua kwa hivyo lakini wanataka ku-influence when the next level. Then akasema the 5 whys they unlock the root cause. Kama kuna shida fulani, kuna problem, let's say kuna this problem and you want to unlock the root of this problem, you just need to ask why 5 times. Alisema hiyo I think ni Alibaba or something, like there is this problem, why and why, you will get to the root cause. So there is only 5 degrees, 5 whys until you get the root cause. Then akasema that alisema if you're curious you need to learn. So learning you can do it by reading. After you read, you teach. By teaching, you become a master. That was so powerful, don't you think so? What?
So powerful.
Yes, that was very, very powerful. Then akasema you need to ask these things in good times. Si ile siku yenye you are over paralyzed and problems have already festered. Like unajua jamaa anakujanga anakuambia umsaidie kuinua income yake, sasa ile ameenda mpaka 0. Lakini sasa ile alishuka na 10k, hakuja akakuambia na ngoja ishuke mpaka
waiting for the worst to happen.
Yes, that's when they're asking the questions. So you need to ask the questions at the right time, not when the problem has faced. You cannot ask me, how do you control a plague? Ama unajua ile plague ya nzige. Nzige already washakula kila kitu, kuja kuniuliza na control aje nzige. Sikuni uliona nzige mmoja na kuja uniulize huyu nzige dawa hii nzige inakuaga nini. Then she said something and she said you go, there's a TED talk inaitwa what I learned from 100 rejection. The last thing she said I remember yenye nilishika ni live seriously and work happily. Live seriously
And work happily.
what did you learn?
Okay, that lady, she really like gave us some good intel actually on how to ask questions. You need to keep asking. As you said that if you don't ask, the answer will always be no, because it is also well said that a problem, I think it's one of the laws. It says that a problem shared is a problem
half solved. Yeah.
So the problem that you're having, how are we going to know you're having a problem if you're not telling out?
Yeah.
So, we are human beings and we cannot like come and measure your brain, come into your brain and know what is in there.
Yeah, you remind me.
So it simply means,
Listen, you remind me when I used to tell my downlines, your upline hana a problem measuring machine. Atunakuja kwa ofisi na kupima hivi, anasema huyu jamaa ako na shida ya prospecting, teach, presentation. Until we mwenyewe unajua uko na shida ya prospecting, si ndio? Enda mahali kuna class inafunza prospecting, training inafunza prospecting, tafuta huyo upline muulize prospecting inafanya.
yeah, so the point was, you need to ask first of all. You need to speak out whatever is in you, because the moment you've asked a question, don't have that kind of fear, because she also talked about the fear people have.
Yeah.
And it is actually a fear that might limit you. You are what are people going to say about the question?
Yeah.
So first of all, you need to come up, overcome that kind of fear of people rejecting you.
Yeah.
And also there is something she quoted, but I can add on that. When you ask a question, you are always a fool for those 2 seconds, but you'll be wise forever.
Yeah.
So when people are saying, what if you find a door which does not have a handle? People are saying, what will you do? You'll just kick the door. Most of the people said so. But yes, it is good that you know that there is no problem. Let people judge you at the moment, but you'll have already known. You'll have already gotten the answer.
Sure.
So it simply means asking is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Yeah.
Because the more you know, the more your capacity in the mind increases, the more you get more ideas. So those are some of the things, and others you've actually covered up. So
sure.
I think those are the things I've personally learned.
Yeah, before you go to Alex, there's something she actually said. Alisema, you need to seek clarity. And seeking clarity, most companies lose billions because they don't seek clarity. Like hawataki kuseek or clear hiyo problem ama hiyo situation ilikuwa aje. Yeah, Alex.
So I think umesema karibu kila kitu. One thing yenye nimenotice watu wengi wanaga is alisema lazima ukuwe naye. It is the personal advisory board.
Your personal advisory board.
Personal advisory board.
Like who's in your advisory board?
Like I said, niliuliza
Personally, I have people who advise me.
Okay.
So I have my attorneys.
So consciously ama unconsciously?
I can say both.
Like kuna watu ku advise, unajua hawa wanani advise na nachukua advice yao. Na kuna watu wenye unachukuanga advice yao na ujongi unachukuanga na utakangi kuchukua. Like si vizuri kuichukua, lakini
ama hata haujui unachukua. You find yourself doing what is in your mind simply because someone said.
Uko na advisory board.
Mimi niko naye.
Mimi leo hata hiyo swali nilifanya jiulize, mi by the advisory board yangu inakuanga kina nani? Nani mimi uni advise? Mimi uji advise.
You just do things. You wake up in the morning.
Unajua hiyo ni shida kubwa sana.
Unaamua tu unaenda kufanya.
Because hapo niliona, I think ilikuwa tu kwa hiyo part ya ku-ask, I think ilikuwa
kuna kitu ulisema tukiwa kwa hiyo session. Nilisema akiongea kuhusu your parents. Like your parents did not have money. Okay.
Most of the people
it is a very good quote. Like, money is not taught in school. How to make money is not taught in school. So our parent are the one who are supposed to teach us about money. So if your parents they don't have money, what are they going to teach you?
That is from rich dad poor dad.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
from
that's
rich
why
dad,
we
poor
were
dad.
told, yes, you can take advice from your peers, but you also need to consider if they were not doing better than what you want to achieve, you can limit it.
Like
Sure.
like Kenya mimi nasema you should have an advisory board. Let's say right now you want to go and get married.
Who's there to advise you?
And they say that get an advisory board from experts, people who have achieved what you want to achieve. Like simply because mtu ako
Hapo si hapo alisema hiyo part, hapo ilikuwa part ya who to ask.
yeah.
But alisema like there are those decisions that you make, you should have someone advisory board. Let's say for example you want to go and buy a car.
Your advisory board.
So should you
So
just
how do you
wake
choose
up,
your advisory board?
like they
Not
should be
personally, what she
aliandika
said.
pale hivyo kwa mentors, your peers, experts. So hiyo list alipeana.
And yourself.
Your
By
professional
use
and
of
also
AI.
and also you.
Technology.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yourself and technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
think
kitu
that's
ingine
pretty
pia I
much.
think ni learn many people will lose a lot of money for not asking. Nipata hiyo tu
seeking
hiyo tu
clarity.
kuuliza tu. You might unajua hata ile kwambia mtu hebu pardon again sijakusikia. Hebu rudia. As simple as that
powerful.
is very powerful.
Kwanza hiyo ya come up again, it's a very powerful question.
Or
Like
pardon,
I'm seeking
pardon,
clarity.
I beg your pardon.
Kama
that is
tunakuulizanga
seeking clarity.
rudia, unarudia unasema the same thing. Tunamwambia rudia, tukimwambia rudia anasema the same thing. Tumuuliza hivi umesema hapa, anasema hapana.
Ama mtu anaona ni kama amesema the wrong thing. So you just need to tell people to listen.
Exactly. So it was an amazing day one.
So the lunch was good.
The lunch was good.
Wow, the lunch
So
was good.
the last takeaway, the last remarks, like say the last thing. Tuanze na Alex, alafu me then I finish up.
The last remark.
Yeah.
I can really say that the event was very impactful. So far I've been able to see the value for my money.
Sure.
And whatever I've learned, I can tell you it's actually in line na kenye maybe nilikuwa nataka kufanya hii mwaka.
Yeah.
Hizo vitu maybe ni ulikuwa kuna kitu yenye ulikuwa unataka kufanya lakini hujui vizuri. Maybe ama ulikuwa na unsurety like kama uko sure is it the correct basa mtu akija hapo kenye tumelani kama imekuja kwa stamp. Kama hiyo I go and do it. Alex, it is okay. Don't fear.
So it was an assurance
Yeah.
that you're in the right path.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, so for me, I would say like, particularly this day, my mind has actually been blown up because there are things I just choose to think they cannot come to existence, you know, but from the first class autonomy I attended, storytelling, online business, also, you know, asking questions. So from all those classes, I've just come to realize that I still need more learning.
Yeah.
Because probably I used to think like I can do all the learning by myself, or probably I don't need to attend financial classes. But I even think I'll go and pay more money to attend more financial classes.
Sure.
To also like, because we are not talking about the part of interaction. We've met people who are of the same thinking. These are actually like quality people who have just assembled. Very like not that many people, but I can say quality people in one room, and the energy is just crazy.
Sure.
Because the person you are sitting next to, they just give a point and you are like, where?
Is that you?
Is that you? Like it's like there is a knowledge they have you had. So I mean duplicates of you in one room, but others have more knowledge than you. Probably that's where you are heading. There are those who are coming where you are. There are those when they speak, you feel like these guys, they are knowing what I knew like sometimes back 1 year ago. Probably they are coming where I am. And there are those when they speak, you even take your pen and you start writing. And they are just, you know, people in the room. So I think I met quality people.
Sure.
People who, you know, we share some common thinking together. We are trying to fight for something, the same thing. I mean, we are in as much as we are working under different fields, but different industries, but we are aiming at something
Common.
Something common.
Something which is similar.
Yes, and we are moving at the same, let me say, direction. Because if it is AI, we are all using AI to go for that wealth.
Sure.
But in different industries. So my biggest takeaway is like, I still need to go for more exposures. meet new people because I interacted with few of them. Others are lawyers, others are entrepreneurs, content creators, digital marketers, and I think it is so good
But
to
I'm
be in
very
such
curious.
kind of
When they
places.
asked you what do you do, what did you tell them?
I told them I'm an e-commerce network developer, and that is actually what I'm pursuing currently.
Oh, perfect. You done?
Yes, now we go to you. What's your takeaway? And when wind up.
2 minutes.
My takeaway for the event,
Sure.
that it's important for people to invest money to not only network marketing events. They should go outside and experience what other people in other businesses are experiencing, because in one way or the other, we experience the same, but we don't know it consciously. When I came into the room, I actually felt like I'm in a very wrong place, because everybody was laughing, everybody was like relating with the creators, with the examples, apart from me. So I've been living in a cage, in like my own world that is so different from this current. I appreciate it because it has been focused and locking in for a couple of years. But then I need to go and see what are other people's experiences with other businesses. I need to see somebody who is selling ice cream. I need to see somebody who is selling shoes. I need to experience somebody who is building a skincare brand. I need somebody who is in manufacturing, somebody who is in construction. And I want to see their perspective of business, because in one or the other, our fundamentals are the same. Just like you said, we are in the same, we are looking for to go to the same vision, and we are guided by the same principles,
Sure.
the same fundamentals. And
Yeah.
if you are guided by the same,
Yeah.
you want to hear their perspective.
I agree.
So I'm hoping that second day is going to be an amazing day. I'm hoping that we'll come here and we'll share with this audience what we got from Live Your Legacy Youth Festival event for 2025.
2025.
Otherwise, thank you,
28th
gentlemen, for
February.
sharing with my audience.
We also have
Yes, we bought these books for Vusi, and we're going to
Magna Carta of Transport.
Magna Carta.
Welcome to the world
Yeah, so
of creating wealth.
thank you for engaging with our content. I'm hoping this has given you some value, and I'm hoping we have shared something that has impacted you in one way or the other from what we have learned. You go subscribe to this channel. Give me a like, share with someone who you think they need to hear this, and I'm hoping to see you tomorrow.
We love you.
See you. Cheers.